The story begins in the vast emptiness of space, where chaos reigns. The Galactic Federation, a coalition of powerful alien species, fights a desperate battle against the Caliph Swarm, a terrifying alien force known for its ruthless, mindless hunger for destruction. The Federation's massive fleet of warships is engaged in a full-scale war. Explosions light up the dark expanse as ships are ripped apart by the onslaught of the Caliph. The sound of plasma cannons and missile fire echoes in the minds of those watching as the Federation's forces struggle to hold their ground. The Caliph Swarm doesn't stop. Their ships, dark and jagged, seem almost organic, and they move like a living thing, always pushing forward, never retreating. It's as if nothing can stand in their way. The Federation's forces, despite their size and strength, are starting to crumble. Some of the biggest and most advanced ships are falling to the relentless Caliph assault, leaving behind clouds of debris floating in the blackness of space. In the middle of this battle, something strange happens. Out of the darkness, a new presence appears on the Federation's radar, a single ship. It's unlike anything they've seen before. The Vanguard, a small human warship, cloaked in near invisibility, drifts silently toward the scene. Its design is sleek and modern, yet it looks tiny compared to the massive fleets around it. The other ships in the battle are huge, armed with all sorts of powerful weapons, but this human vessel seems to fade into the background. At first, no one notices the Vanguard. It's so quiet and unnoticed that it's as if it doesn't exist at all. The Federation, busy trying to survive the storm of Caliph ships, barely registers its presence. But soon enough, the whispers start. The leaders of the Federation, those in command of the mighty fleets, begin to scoff. Why would humans send just one ship, one of the leaders says. Do they not understand the danger? This is the Caliph Swarm we're fighting. One ship will never be enough. Their voices are filled with disbelief and laughter. To them, the idea of humans, small, new players in the vast galaxy, sending only a single ship into such a battle is absurd. They believe that humanity is weak, that they are nothing compared to the great alien civilizations around them. In the Federation's eyes, this is nothing more than a foolish gamble, a gesture of desperation. But in truth, humanity has always been underestimated. As the battle rages on, Commander Arya Kane, the captain of the Vanguard, watches from her ship's command deck. Her face is calm, even in the face of the chaos outside. There is no fear in her eyes, only a quiet resolve. She stands there, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the battle unfolding far below. The Vanguard's crew moves silently around her, preparing the ship for its crucial role in the battle. The silence inside the ship is almost eerie, in stark contrast to the noise of the war outside. Kane knows that this is no ordinary mission. They are here for something much more important than simply fighting the Caliph. They are here to prove that humanity can rise above the odds. Let them think we are weak, Commander Kane whispers softly, her voice cold and confident. They will regret that. Her words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. The Federation thinks that humanity is making a mistake, that they have no chance against the Caliph Swarm. But Kane has a different plan in mind. Her ship, the Vanguard, is small, yes, but it holds a secret weapon. One that could turn the tide of the war. In that moment, as the Federation continues to flounder in the face of the Caliph's strength, Commander Kane smiles. They think they understand the battle. But they don't. Humanity has always been underestimated, and they're about to show the galaxy why that was a huge mistake. The Vanguard stays silent in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Kane's crew watches her, waiting for the command to engage. The Caliph ships continue to swarm around them, pushing forward relentlessly. But the Vanguard is patient. It doesn't need to rush. It doesn't need to fight like the others. As the Federation battles on, oblivious to the true power hidden aboard the Vanguard, the human ship silently moves into position. The next phase of the plan is about to begin, and the Vanguard will show the galaxy that one ship is all it takes to change everything. Humanity has always been the underdog in the galaxy. For years, the human race has fought against alien species far more advanced and technologically superior. Time and time again, humans have been dismissed as primitive, weak, and unworthy of respect. The Galactic Federation viewed them as a minor race, barely able to survive in the harsh environment of space. The larger, more powerful alien species saw humanity as a small threat, easily crushed underfoot. But there was more to humanity than the galaxy had realized. For years, humans had been secretly working on something that could turn the tide of the war. Commander Arya Kane and her crew had been involved in a project so secret that even the Federation knew little about it, the Eidolon AI. The Eidolon AI was no ordinary system. It was a neural quantum artificial intelligence, designed to think faster and more efficiently than any living being. It had the ability to analyze and outthink any adversary, even the most advanced alien minds. The Eidolon was humanity's secret weapon, one that could level the playing field against their technologically superior enemies. While the Federation's leaders continue to bicker and argue, Ambassador Zalnoth, a high-ranking Federation official, cannot hide his disbelief. When he learns that humanity has sent only one ship to the summit, he laughs mockingly. One ship, he scoffs, staring at Commander Kane. Are you mad? Do you really think one tiny vessel can change the outcome of this war? You're playing a dangerous game, Kane. His words are filled with scorn, but Kane stands firm. She doesn't flinch. She knows the truth. They might not understand now, but when the time comes, the Vanguard will prove them wrong. Back on the Vanguard, as the Federation's forces struggle to fend off the Caliph swarm, Kane knows that the time has come. Humanity's gamble is on the line. If the Vanguard fails, humanity will be lost. But Kane believes in her crew, and in Eidolon. Activate Eidolon, Kane orders, her voice calm but full of purpose. The AI system hums to life. It isn't just another weapon, it's a game changer. As the Eidolon AI begins processing data at an incredible speed, it starts analyzing the entire battlefield. It calculates the Caliph swarm's movements, their attack patterns, and their weaknesses. For the first time in a long time, humans have a real chance. But there's a risk. The Eidolon AI is powerful, but it's not without dangers. If it falls into the wrong hands or malfunctions, it could turn on its creators. The consequences would be disastrous. Commander Kane knows that activating it is a gamble, a chance to win, but at a great cost. If Eidolon works, it could be the key to victory. If it doesn't, humanity could lose everything. As the battle rages outside, Kane grips the control panel tightly. Her crew looks at her, waiting for a sign that the gamble will pay off. The fate of humanity is now in their hands. As the battle rages on, something unexpected happens. The Vanguard, a small and seemingly insignificant ship, moves into position. With its cloaking device activated, it silently sneaks past the Caliph swarm's defenses, hidden from their advanced sensors. The Caliph fleet, distracted by the larger Federation forces, doesn't even notice the human ship slipping into their midst. Then, without warning, the Vanguard strikes. The quiet of space is shattered as the ship launches a surprise attack on one of the Caliph swarm's largest flagships. The ship's pulse laser weapons unleash a powerful barrage, hitting the flagship with pinpoint accuracy. The Vanguard isn't like the massive Federation ships, it's fast, nimble, and equipped with advanced technology. The Caliph flagship, once considered invulnerable, is now on the receiving end of a brutal assault. A heart-pounding space combat sequence unfolds as the Vanguard engages in battle. Despite its small size, the ship seems to multiply before the Caliph's eyes. Holographic decoys are launched into space, projecting images of multiple Vanguard ships, making it appear as though a whole fleet is attacking. The Caliph swarm is caught off guard, scrambling to defend against an attack they didn't expect. The Federation fleet, watching from afar, can hardly believe their eyes. How can this one small human ship cause so much damage to the mighty Caliph forces? The battle is shifting, and the Federation is starting to realize that humanity might have a chance after all. Meanwhile, inside the Vanguard, the Eidolon AI is doing its part. It begins hacking into the Caliph swarm's ships, accessing their systems and turning them against each other. In a matter of seconds, the Caliph ships that were once so unified start firing on one another. Confusion spreads through the swarm. The once unstoppable force is now falling apart from the inside. The Vanguard doesn't stop. Commander Arya Kane watches the chaos unfold on her screens, her expression calm and confident. She knows this is just the beginning. The Caliph swarm may be reeling, but the war is far from over. One ship, this is just the beginning, she says, her voice steady and unshaken. The Vanguard has proven its power, but the Caliph won't back down easily. Realizing that the Vanguard is causing significant damage, the Caliph begin to shift their attention. They know they must take down this one ship before it can cripple their entire fleet. Their forces start to converge on the Vanguard, but Kane is ready. She knows they will make their move, it's exactly what she anticipated. The battle isn't over yet, and Kane's eyes are locked on the screens, awaiting the next phase of the fight. She's prepared for whatever the Caliph throw at her. The stakes are high, and the tension is thick. There's still a long way to go before victory is assured. As the battle rages on, the Vanguard continues to fight against the overwhelming might of the Caliph swarm. The crew is exhausted, but they're driven by one thing, the hope that humanity can turn the tide of the war. However, as the conflict intensifies, a moment of tragedy strikes. Bonner, one of the most beloved soldiers aboard the Vanguard, is killed in a final, desperate stand to protect the ship. Bonner had been with Kane since the beginning. He was a fighter, always pushing forward, no matter the odds. His death hits the crew hard. They knew this battle wouldn't come without sacrifice, but nothing prepares them for the pain of losing someone they cared about. As Bonner's body is carried from the battlefield, the mood on the Vanguard shifts. The crew mourns his loss, but they do not waver. Commander Kane, struggling to keep her composure, feels the weight of his death. She knows that every life lost brings them one step closer to victory. She looks at Bonner's empty place in the crew quarters, and a fire ignites inside her. His sacrifice can't be in vain. With tears in her eyes, Kane gathers the crew in the ship's command center. She stands tall, her voice steady as she addresses them. He died for something more than just a victory. He died for the future of every human in the galaxy. His sacrifice will be remembered, and we will fight harder because of it. The crew looks at each other, their resolve hardening. Bonner's death becomes a symbol of humanity's strength. They won't let his sacrifice be for nothing. They fight not just for survival, but for something greater, the future of humanity itself. The Vanguard continues to push forward, but the battle is far from over. Alien infiltrators have boarded the ship, determined to take it down from the inside. Commander Kane and her crew are ready. They rush to the ship's bridge, where chaos is unfolding. The once quiet halls of the Vanguard are now filled with the sounds of blaster fire, the hum of energy weapons, and the smell of smoke. Sparks fly from the walls as laser beams cut through the air. A brutal close-quarters combat ensues as Kane and her crew engage the Caliph infiltrators. Blasts of energy ring out as soldiers fire their guns, while the crew fights off the alien invaders with all their strength. The Vanguard's bridge becomes a battlefield, its once pristine walls now scarred with the marks of battle. Each movement is tense and precise, as they battle to protect their ship and their mission. In the middle of the fight, Kane's mind is sharp. She knows this moment could be their last chance to turn the tide. Every punch, every shot fired, is a fight for humanity's survival. As the alien attackers close in, Kane's eyes lock with her crew's. There is no fear in their eyes, only determination. Bonner's sacrifice is the fuel they need. It is a turning point, not just for the Vanguard, but for the human spirit. They fight not just for victory, but for the future of humanity in the galaxy. And as the final alien is defeated, the crew breathes a collective sigh of relief. The battle continues, but their hearts are stronger than ever. The vanguard may be small, but with the power of their unity in their sacrifice, it will not fall. The Caliph swarm, once in disarray, is now desperate. The Federation fleet is on the verge of collapse, struggling to hold their ground against the relentless onslaught. The Caliph, enraged by the unexpected resistance, unleash a massive wave of reinforcements. The sky above is filled with enemy ships, more than ever before. The Federation's forces, already battered and outnumbered, begin to buckle under the weight of the attack. But just as all hope seems lost, the vanguard and the remaining human ships make their move. Commander Arya Kane knows this is their final chance. She orders the remaining human forces to gather for one last offensive. They might be small, they might be outmatched, but they have one thing the Caliph can't count on: the heart of humanity. The vanguard moves into position, its sleek form gliding through the chaos. With a sudden burst of energy, it fires its orbital bombardment, launching massive plasma beams that rip apart enemy ships. The blasts are bright and intense, cutting through the dark void of space like lightning. Each shot is a direct hit, tearing through the Caliph ships and sending debris scattering across the battlefield. The vanguard becomes a beacon of destruction, lighting up the cold expanse of space as it strikes with deadly precision. Inside the vanguard, Kane watches the battle unfold on the screens. Every blast, every move, is calculated. She knows that this fight will determine the fate of the galaxy. But she also knows that they've only just begun to turn the tide. With Eidolon AI still operating at full power, Kane gives the order. Activate the final phase, she commands. The AI, hacking into the Caliph flagship systems, takes control of their most powerful ship. In a split second, the flagship's weapons shut down, its engines go dark, and the entire vessel goes still. The Caliph forces, already in disarray, panic. Without their flagship to lead them, the swarm begins to fall apart. The Eidolon AI has done its job. A massive chain reaction begins. The flagship's destruction sets off a series of explosions throughout the Caliph fleet, one after another. The vanguard watches as the swarm's ships begin to implode, their forces crumbling under the weight of their own failure. The Federation, who had been on the brink of defeat, can hardly believe their eyes. What was once a desperate, losing fight has now turned into a victory, thanks to the courage and ingenuity of one small human ship. The vanguard and its crew have saved the Federation, but it was not the Federation's strength that won the day, it was the heart of humanity, the resilience and determination of a crew that refused to give up. Kane, standing at the helm, watches as the last of the Caliph ships are destroyed. The battle is over, and the swarm is defeated. One ship, she says quietly, looking at the remains of the Caliph fleet. And that's all it took. The vanguard, the smallest ship on the battlefield, has defeated the greatest threat the galaxy has ever known. It is a victory that will be remembered for generations, proof that humanity, against all odds, can stand tall and fight back. With the Caliph swarm finally retreating, their once unshakable grip on the galaxy is broken. The Federation, battered and barely holding on, now stands in awe of the humans who had faced impossible odds and won. Their massive fleets, once confident and dominant, are now humbled by the actions of a single ship. The vanguard has become a symbol of hope, and humanity's victory is seen as nothing short of miraculous. As the Federation leaders gather, they are quick to express their gratitude. High-ranking officers and ambassadors speak with admiration, their words overflowing with praise for Commander Kane and her crew. "We owe you everything," one of them says. "Without you, we would have fallen." But Commander Kane is not one for accolades. She stands tall, her expression unwavering as she faces the Federation's leaders. "We didn't fight for praise," she says, her voice steady and firm. "We fought to survive. Our victory wasn't for your gratitude. It was for the future of humanity. Her words hit hard, a reminder that this battle wasn't about fame or recognition, it was about survival, about doing what was necessary to protect their people and their way of life. The Vanguard's crew, who had given everything to this mission, don't seek recognition. They did what had to be done. Kane's words serve as a reminder that humanity's strength lies not in its desire for glory, but in its determination to persevere when the odds are stacked against it. The Vanguard returns to Earth, its sleek frame a symbol of all the sacrifice and strength that humanity has shown. Its journey may have been small in comparison to the vastness of the galaxy, but it changed everything. The Eidolon AI, the courage of its crew, and the will to survive in the face of extinction, it's all encapsulated in this one ship. The story closes with a message that echoes across the galaxy, reaching every corner of the Federation and beyond. It is a message that humanity will carry forward. Sometimes, one ship is enough to change everything. The Vanguard stands as a lasting legacy, not just of the battle won, but of humanity's resilience. The ship symbolizes more than just military might, it represents the ingenuity, and the unwavering resolve of the human spirit. The victory is not just a military one, but a victory of human heart and determination. Against overwhelming odds, humans did not give up, and that will be the story passed down for generations. The Vanguard may be just one ship, but in the hearts of every human, it represents something far greater, the strength to fight, to endure, and to change the galaxy. And this legacy of strength, of defying impossible odds, will inspire humanity for centuries to come.